That's the thing, you know, there's a lot of room for some really close gameplay to be coming up out of this best of three, and we're going to be getting in with the knife as well, so they will be deciding what side they're going to be taking. Looks like NXL should be able to take this one. Actually, goes down to the 1 versus 1. InchK1ng very close to taking it, but NXL will be able to clutch that one out. And of course, you would imagine they're going to be going for that CT side.
Yeah, of course, pretty important there for Team NXL and Mirage. Of course, it is kind of a 9-6 to 10-5 half, Jackie, I think. The pistol round is... I think it's more important for the terrorists to get the pistol round, because it's really momentum based, I think, Mirage. You could really just run away with this once you get the pistol round, if you get the first gun, and of course that's already... Obviously, if you get past the force buy as well on the second round, if you get that pistol and first gun round, you're in for a 4 or 5-0 lead on Mirage, and I think sometimes if the CT kind of get the momentum first, you could have a really hard time of really getting like 1 or 2 rounds on the board in a row and getting some momentum on Mirage. So important for InchK1ng to get a good start here, and I'm hoping to see like more strategic based from InchK1ng as well, because when NXL came up against someone there 2 days ago, the tactics were really bad. Like there wasn't any, like didn't have many out of the book, but execution here coming from InchK1ng, now already getting the first opening frag here.
They're going to be attempting to push into CT as well, but Soifong was primed and ready for it. Push down, relax. Okay, find a nice close angle towards connector, lands the Glock burst into Frost Misty to give them a bit of an advantage now in a battle of attrition, but can they keep it up? Gets another one before he is finally taken down. Sits at the back of the site, trying to do some damage, but he's going to get dropped. It's all on Ming and Moon, the 2 M's. Get the final frag on the board onto Forge, and they do get that pistol round there.
Yeah, good opening round. Like I was just saying, InchK1ng was extremely important for them to get that first pistol round, and I'm interested to see that strat. We've seen that strat, Jackie, from Dong Bio, the exact same kind of strat against Team NXL, and it like you see NXL were really passive. I'm wondering if InchK1ng were kind of maybe watching a bit of NXL's demos there, and just to really anti-strat them, because they knew exactly how NXL would play. That was the exact same setup they did
once
against
again, here as well.
So I'm interested to see. I think InchK1ng might have got some research in there to have a look to see how NXL were going to set up, and it's really paid off for them. They won that round with ease.
Yeah, and once again now, of course, if they have done that, they put some anti-stratting work in, because it seems like that once, you know, NXL, they've gone for that same play on the second round. After losing the pistol, they stacked 5 players on that B bomb site, so InchK1ng went for the brute force play onto the A site. It's paid off for them. And now all they've got to do is hold out. Everyone on that CT side has taken a fair bit of damage. Ideally, if they can just get a few kills onto these players with that SMG, that'll be an even bigger bonus. But that nade should get a frag here. Actually taps them both down to 3 and 4 HP respectively.
Yeah, this should be a quite comfortable round again for InchK1ng. Important to keep all members alive here to try and get the money going again. Of course, they've got an MP7 and a MAC-10 to try and buffer up the cash there for the terrorist side. And Team NXL did not go for the force buy. We've seen that, of course, Jackie, in the first game as well. That they don't like really going for that second round force buy. They like having all the utilities and picking up an AWP as well on Song Fong. So that's an interesting choice that they don't really opt ever for that second round force buy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an old style of game. What I guess, and they're comfortable being like that.
Because that's what we've said quite a few times as well, you know, watching the sort of how a lot of these scenes play, it's sort of underdeveloped. It's a lot more sort of reminiscent of 1.6 and Source, and you can see that in sort of some of the decision making they go for.
Yeah, indeed, exactly. That it is kind of, these guys of course are from 1.6, and they're just going for that kind of same style. I'm guessing it works best for them. They're quite happy in doing it. But same strat here again by InchK1ng. This is an execution here. Moon's already picked off too. They're doing quite. I like the kind of way they're executing on the A side. They're very confident in their play and confident in their ability of their aim. And of course, it's working already. This will be the opening 3 rounds in favour of InchK1ng.
Should be able to up this final round. You wouldn't imagine them be able to do much here unless it starts land the nades. Gods, but they will be picked off. It's just Frosty Misty, last one left alive with a 5-7. Just playing a nice little close angle here, so potentially if anyone tried to go through the vent, would be able to take him down. Should be able to get the frag there. Can he scavenge JK though? Getting pushed. Bams away, but Foray will be able to connect with that MP, the MAC-10 even. Take him down and get that 3rd round on the board. It's been proven, you know, we saw sort of yesterday what we were really hoping we would have seen coming out would have been those A takes. Because you can see NXL when they play that A site as well, it's I don't know, they don't really help with sort of the crossfires or the positions they play into, and it's always very shaky. And that A site is weak. You can sort of crack into there. It's very sort of soft. Good to see InchK1ng hitting it hard very early on and proving that they can get in there.
Yeah, into his fourth round by here. Interesting to see NXL have gone for the double AWP setup, and Roseo has got the AWP. I mean, when I've seen this kid with this AWP, he's been absolutely. He was hitting some awesome shots with that AWP. So great to see that he's picked that up. Now we didn't see too much action from him last time I was watching, but saying that the AWP of Songfong has paid off here. 2 opening frags for NXL, and this is a great start to round for NXL.
Good stuff, but can they keep the trades? Are going to be coming out there, but finally they've put a stop to that. Ming and Moon, once again the 2 M's on that T side, attempting to do something. They're fairly far apart. Moon in a very unadvantageous position. He's going to make it work. Lands the headshot onto Rosu from Whorehouse. Aware that there's a player close on short as well, but he could be risking it. Lands a ridiculous shot there.
That shot, man, was unbelievable.
He should have been dead. The reactions on that is some crazy stuff, being able to do that. And, you know, a round that they didn't really have a stake in nil at this point, being 2 versus 4, they've been able to bring it back perfectly off the back of that.
I mean, this is a 3v5 situation that should be now turned into a 1v1 situation. Oh my god, and he's got it, like, I thought Ming played that perfectly at the start of that 1v1, and then he's just absolutely screwed it. I mean, I can't believe that has just happened. Like, how can you, like, let that happen? You know exactly where the bomb is planted and you just let him defuse like that. I mean,
yeah,
it's just awful. I mean, they had the perfect crossfire there. No, it wasn't a perfect crossfire, but it was a good 2v1 situation to be in. I mean, the CT was coming out of connector. They knew exactly where he was. Bomb was planted in the perfect position, and somehow they just screwed that up after such amazing play by Moon hitting that amazing reaction shot at short as well.
That's the thing, you know, it was a big round for them, but the fact, of course, it was a round they couldn't really be able to win at first, and then they made it work. They've got down to a point where they should have been able to win it out. Moon, really, you know, potentially he went for a peak that he might have not had to go for, but it could have paid off, leaving that into that 1v1 with Ming, and you're right, Ming should have won that every time there. That's really unfortunate that that has been able to happen. It's crazy that NXL sort of have picked that round up when it got into that situation.
Yeah, Rattlesnake would never have let that happen, mate.
Rattlesnake would not be happy.
He would not be happy with that, mate. He'd be fuming at everyone.
How many times have you diffused that through smoke?
Every time I kill him, if it wasn't a smoke, I'd kill him every time.
Why'd you keep peeking, Wes? Stop. I'm not peeking, Sam.
Don't give him the satisfaction, Sam.
Meanwhile, in this round, it's come down to it very close. 1v1, Ming at the back of the site, spamming through the box. He looked a little bit like he was confused at that point. Frosty Misty did peek out, but he was committed to spamming the box. Had to take him down as he pushed round, and Frost Misty will get the better of him. It's come down to a close round once again. NXL finally finding their footing.
Yeah, another 1v1 situation for NXL. I think the CTs need a kind of a clean round here now to kind of get their economy up. As you can see, any moment now the money is going to be pretty low on every member of the CTs. Of course, InchK1ng going for this full buy up here now. Only one just a Tech 9 on Moon, but good decision, of course, keeping the money stress on the CT side economy. Still got an AWP on Soifong, so not good buy still from NXL as well.
Nice tag there early over at mid though. Soifong down to 20 HP. He's going to have to try and get himself into a better position, but this has left even mid quite wide open. Rosu did the best job he could though, getting that first frag before he gets traded out. Did a little bit of damage as well that could help Soifong in being able to get that frag over there. Tapping away. Got to hide behind Forest here, just attempting to do some damage onto Forge. Taking so many angles at once, but somehow he hasn't been taken down quite yet. He gets the frag onto Forge, leaving them with the 2 versus 2. Aware of the location of Soifong, but peeks him as he tried to throw that smoke down and gets capitalized because of it. Soifong now in a 1 versus 1 against 4A. Going to be second guessing himself and heading off towards that A bomb site, which will give them enough time Get the bomb down.
Yeah, gonna be planting here for short. If he gets on short now, he's gonna be in a pretty decent position. But keeping close range, of course, he knows that Soifong has got the AWP, so he's playing this perfectly now. Oh! But Soifong takes him out through the wall there with the AWP, and another 1v1 situation there, Jackie, that has been won by NXL 3 times in a row now.
Yeah, big stuff coming out from there, starting to bring their A game, and you know, this is very reminiscent of sort of what we saw previously, where of course the opposite team won out the pistol, took the full 3 rounds, and then somehow NXL were just winning rounds that it looked like they shouldn't have been able to, and it came down to very close rounds every time. And the only problem with that was, of course, is they weren't building up a bank. They were winning rounds, but NXL never sort of had enough economy to work with, and we're sort of seeing little bits of that right now. Of course, utility is lacking. Only one, there's a Famous in play there on Rosu as well instead of an M4.
Yeah, we've only seen him kind of pick up that AWP once because the money isn't too great, so he's not being able to. They're not able to swing that double up setup in play. So yeah, InchK1ng need to convert these kind of great plays. They're getting the advantage. Well, they're losing 1 or 2 members at the start, but they're always turning it around. That was a 4v2 turned into a 2v1, so they're doing the hard bit, but they're not converting the easy bit when they get the bomb kind of planted and getting in decent position. So that's twice now that's happened. But A execution coming out here now.
Done fairly well to use those smokes efficiently to zone off the CTs as well. And it looks like they'll be able to pass forward one side. The CTs regrouping now, aware that they have to try and retake together, and they need to try and get a frag here. It's going to be very hard to retake 5 versus 5. It will be a lot easier for them if they can get a bit of an opener. Everyone trying to peek out, trying to make something happen, but they're struggling. Everyone on that T side showing a lot of restraint, not really going for a face, but ZK goes for the first one. Is able to get a lot of frags on the board for that T side already. They're ripping apart the CTs. It's an absolute bloodbath. The CTs will only be able to get 2 kills before they get taken down by InchK1ng to get another round on the board.
Yeah, like I was just saying, InchK1ng there really need to pick off a round that they're doing so well on this T half. And of course, even though Team NXL have won 3 rounds in a row, because of all these tight situations, Jackie, their money is in tatters. Look at Frost Misty, only on 1400. So is SYS. I mean, even they get a full eco here, they still will, if they decide to buy, which I don't think they should buy next round as well. I think this is good for a double eco. They're in trouble, Jackie. These next 2 rounds, it's gonna be, they should go InchK1ng's way.
Yeah, this is going to be hard for them. That's what I was sort of saying, you know, even though they were winning rounds, they were losing sort of 3-4 players every time, and they had no money in that bank. They aren't able to build up an economy, but that's quite big. Forge went for the play from Underbosh, pushing behind, getting the frag onto Ming, and he could be critical in this round. Unfortunately, he will get taken down by ZK. He was in a beautiful position to really do some damage against those Ts, but he's been dispatched, and so have the majority of CTs now, leaving just Soifong in a 1 versus 3. Gonna attempt to do some damage, creeping up short here, risking it for a biscuit. Of course, he didn't invest anything into that round, so it's not a big issue if he does get taken down.
Yeah, comfortable round there by InchK1ng as predicted here now. And here's the decision for Team NXL. Do they go for a buy here? I don't think they should. The money isn't looking great on. Oh, but they have gone for this buy, and I do not agree with this. I mean, it's only 5-3, still 7 rounds to go in this half. They don't need to be doing this kind of forced buy. Look at it, utility, they've got 3 smokes, 1 flash between the team, no nades, 1 kit between them. Saying that though.
Yeah, that's worked out quite well. Looks like they could actually be able to convert this into a win on this one. Forge getting the frag onto Ming. Only 2 minutes standing on that T side. Forge gets another one, and it just leaves 4-8-0 in a 1 versus 5. Even though a few of them are attacked, he's not really got much of a chance in this, and they've made that eco work. Well, the force even, sorry.
Yeah, and they played that perfectly as well. Of course, I was saying they didn't have much utility, so they went for the aggressive push, because if they're going to hang back, they have nothing to kind of reply. If InchK1ng are going to go for their executions, they have no flashes. They only have 2 smokes between them and no nades. So great decision by NXL. They caught InchK1ng off guard. They won their duels. That's all they need to do, and that's a perfect round now. All 5 members alive as well. Great free piece there by Forge.
That's going to have the exact opposite effect of what happened to them previously. Now the money on the board for InchK1ng, very, very scrappy. Not a lot to work with, you know, they're just going to try and get some Tech 9s in play. Actually going for 4 deagles, it's a bit of a deco coming out.
Yeah, deco here by InchK1ng. NXL reset InchKing's money. Of course, all these rounds have been very tight, so it's come back to InchKing to haunt them now that they haven't been able to build up a bank.
The timing for Ford there is so critical. He's been able to drop off with a Molotov in hand, but luckily he got himself into a bit of a better position before they were able to capitalise on it. Sprays away, gets 2 frags. Even 3 men left standing on that T side. They're getting dropped by the second, but Moon finally utilises that deagle to get 1 opener. But now Relax is the last man standing. He's going to be in apps, deagle in hand. He does have armour, but really not a lot he can do in this round. Potentially could get a frag on the board though. If he can find the owner, he might be able to it up if he can string the frags together, but it's going to be quite hard. They are going to be faced him. Making the plan, the flash goes in. He isn't able to see him and will get taken down.
Yeah, no, that's NXL getting 3 members alive, and as you can see, the money is starting to build up slowly for NXL going into these last 5 rounds, and this could be extremely important. I think this is the most important stage of the half. If Team NXL get at least 4 of the rounds, 9-6, they'll be quite happy. Of course, we've seen their terrorist halves as well being quite strong, and as you can see from CSGO Lounge, 71% in favour of InchKing. I think that doesn't really represent what this game is. I really think this is a 50-50 game.
Yeah, this is a close game. You know, I reckon we're going to be seeing a lot of stuff. NXL looked shaky yesterday, but if they sort of keep up the display we're seeing now, where things look a lot better, they should be okay. But this is a nice execute coming out onto that A site. Once again, going to be zoning off the CTs, so they can't really have a rapid response. Ford just tapping away through that smoke with the AWP, going for the no-scope, but he couldn't quite land it onto anyone. Soifong has one as well towards jungle, just going for these shots, potentially trying to get an opener, of course. They want to try and make it a 5 versus 4, and Sis is able to crack that site open for him. Soifong comes in with an eagle as well, and finally they're in a good situation to be able to retake this, but can they pull it off? Peeking out together, working as a team, nice unit sort of style play here, taking them down, leaving just 4A standing. For his dispatch, peeks out, trying to do some damage, and Soifong rips his head clean off with that AWP.
Yeah, 3rd round in a row picked up by NXL. They're starting to get into this half now, taking it by control now, getting in the lead. That's the first time I think in this half that they've taken the lead, and what an important time to take it going into the late stages of this first half. And the money on InchKing not looking too great. Are they going to opt for this kind of Tech 9 buy? Have a little bit of bank for the 13th round? Yeah, they're going for the Tech 9s, but things I'm interested to see that InchKing now. What have they got up this sleeve? Are they going to change it up? They're starting to lose. They're trying to drift away in this half. Are they going to change it up at all, or are they just going to go for this A kind of execution that it has been working? I mean, yeah. At the opening stages of this half, it was working very well, but they just weren't able to hold the kind of afterplant situations.
Because that's the thing, because you know they're doing fine with these smokes, and the CTs, they panic off early, they'll fall back and they'll play into that, allowing them to take control of the site. But Forge there, even through that smoke, connects the shot onto Relax, which is going to be huge, but they get too aggressive, but their boots charging through the CT smoke. This all come into trying to help his teammate, but unfortunately slays him in the process. 3 people left standing on that T side in some nice positions though to hold off the push. But can they keep them back? Ming comes in with one, using that Tech 9 perfectly. Rozu retaliates. It's a 3 versus 2, still a massive advantage to those CTs. The T's will be getting dropped off. It's only Moon left standing, tapping away, trying to do some damage with that Tech 9, but he couldn't quite land the shots. Will get ripped apart by the AK Frost Misty. NXL get another round on the board.
Yeah, they're starting to look comfortable now, and like I was saying a few rounds ago, money bank really important now. NXL are really getting into this. Double up setup as well here. And this is what I was on about at the start of the half as well, like confidence and kind of getting a swing into things. This is the stage now where it's going to be grinding out rounds now for InchKing. They need to try and pick up one of these rounds to have a decent half.
Well, because I mean, you know, as the great Luke Critical Green once says, Counter-Strike is confidence nil. And without confidence, you've already lost.
That's the only decent thing he ever said in CS, mate. Definitely the only thing he said decent, that's for sure. Oh, confidence is key. Pretty much his CS skills, he got very good.
God damn. There you go. And the first pick coming out for Relax, that is quite good. Takes down Forge. Frost Misty gets dropped off as well. SYS in a nice position to get a headshot onto Relax. Tries to get another one. He isn't quite able to do it. He is able to stay alive though, but the timing is just ever so slightly off for him. Gets caught with his pants down, taken down by Ming. And now in a 2 versus 1 up against Soifong. The AK in the hand of the CT. The Lone Ranger wants to try and take down 2 Ts. The Molotov will do quite nicely to force them to peek him here. But can he land the shots? They are just going to fall onto the site. Checking the angles, but they're just slightly the wrong ones. Not really giving him any chance of finding his way into this round. This is nice play from the T's here. Not really overextending too much, peeking together and do a fantastic job of being able to get that round. Finally, they're able to hold an afterplant.
Yeah, that is an extremely massive round there for InchK1ng to pick up. I was talking about there was just slipping away a little bit. I mean, I didn't want NXL to be running away with the half. I mean, 10-5 wouldn't have been a deserved half for InchK1ng in favour of NXL, but they picked up that round 7-6 now, and this round now, NXL really need to pick up this round because they're going to be having no money going into the last round. So this could be either a 9-6 half or an 8-7 in favour of NXL, I think. Sorry, in favour of InchK1ng. Pardon me. So this round is going to be an all-in kind of round, a 9-6 to NXL or 8-7 to InchK1ng.
And it's the fact as well, sort of, we're seeing more of an A-heavy stack sort of coming out there in the style they've gone for. So if they do go for this B execute, it will work out fairly nicely for them. Frost Misty just playing over there behind Forest. Wants to try and do some damage. If they do come out, the smokes on that B bomb site will be flooding over, so he'll try and make that known to his teammates, and they have rotated over. SYS gets the first frag onto Relax, but the T's are flooding out. They are leaking all over the place. Somebody call a plumber. But can the CTs do some damage now? Can they hold them off? Kills the player over by Electric. 2 men left standing. They're dispatching them with absolute ease. Dead K, the last man standing, not in a very fantastic position. Does get taken down. Unfortunate for him, but beautiful start for NXL, being able to get a very vital round on the board.
Counter-terrorists win.
Now going into this last round, gonna have a good buy coming into this last round as well. And of course, well, Ming's actually got 8k, so he should be able to drop a weapon for one of the players as well. So we're gonna see probably 2 or 3 AKs going into this last round. Got a Deagle on Real as well. Can we see some 1 bulls coming out? Unreal, take that face at middle lane, you can take him out. I'm gonna have eyes on cam on Real here. I want to see a 1, but he's gone too slow. I'm not watching. Going too slow.
Not going for that sort of aggressive style of play.
The
Come around.
confidence.
Yeah,
Oh,
Forge
he's been
Rush on the
taken out.
glass has worked out well. Potentially though, Neil, if Moon can create a bit of a distraction, the A-site push could work out quite well for them.
Well, they've executed already, and they're in trouble here now. What? Moon does take down 1. Oh, saying that,
Nice.
Ming's taking down 1 as well. They've got the A bomb site here as well. That's kind of. Whew, how has this happened? I mean, they look
I'm
like
not
in the
too
world
sure.
of trouble in this 3v5, but 3v2 looking at the HBs as well, not looking too great here for InchK1ng, even though they got the man advantage to. Forge is coming up from behind, and he should be able to pick up another one if he sees Ming in time. This nade here.
That was quite beautiful.
What a nade. That is
Yeah.
that is brilliant.
Really
And the
good
bomb
stuff.
is going to be defused as well. Like I was saying, the HPs were just too low for InchK1ng. That's a 9-6 half. Frost Misty's going to be taking down a Molotov. Bang. At least Moon gets something for. That's at the end of the half. 9-6. InchK1ng. They won the pistol, only getting 6 rounds. Don't know if they'll be happy with that, especially after the afterplant situations. I mean, they could have easily had 8 or 9 rounds in their T half, but NXL 9 rounds. We've seen how good they are in T half. I think NXL really are going to be the favourites in this half.
Oh yeah, NXL, you know, they're looking strong. A lot of it was mistakes that we're seeing from InchK1ng though as well that gave them the leeway to get a few of these rounds, like you said.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, but early bit of combat going on that A site. Frost Misty has spotted it out. He's been allowed to scout it out a little bit. Will now begin to back off. Whilst his teammates all just group up outside of B apartments. Looks like they might be going for a bit of a contact B play here, potentially a shotgun or sort of burst at some point. Try and do the damage onto 4A.
Yeah, the CTs need to be really careful here now because the B execute is coming out right now on 4-4. One member of InchK1ng is there, but Ming can come back to rotate, and Ming does get that opening frag.
Gonna get equalised though. Now the advantage in the favour of the team. The Soifon goes absolutely massive in the round, but Ming over on short with the backup of his teammate Real. They have done a spectacular job of taking the advantage. It's just Forge left alive, bouncing through the air like he's on a trampoline, but he will now be in a shallow grave as Real takes him down and then proceeds to get that bomb defused.
Yeah, massive round won there by InchK1ng there, that pistol round. And really taking it now. Now, this round, Jackie, I really don't want to see this MP7, MP9 full buy here now. I hate when teams do that because NXL, they are going to Tech 9 force buy here, I think anyway. What I've seen them do before. Yeah. Are they? Yeah, they're going to go for this Tech 9. Now, let's see the buy on. Real's picked up an M4. UMP is good. Yep.
Okay, yeah, that's acceptable.
That's a good buy. I like that. Now, 2 M4s, they've spread it out nicely. UMP, of course, can mow down them Tech 9s very nicely as well. But NXL going for this kind of B push. We've seen this before work up really well against Dong Bio there the other day. So going for this exact same strat.
Alright, he's got to be the point man in this position. Will be making a call made to his teammates though without spots one, but he couldn't react fast enough. SYS takes him down. Ming zoned out by the smoke that has gone up towards short. Luckily though, ZK was allowed to get a little bit aggressive in shop and has got the frag with the MP9. Ming finally chimes in to get a frag as well onto SYS, leaving up to 3 versus 3. FK still doing damage with that MP9, getting himself some cash and some frags. Trades it up for the M4 though. Relaying the information that he knows, letting them know where Forge is.
But look at Moon here. Moon has got a perfect position here. Should be able to take down one, but he's been whiffing his shots. Takes about half HP down, but InchK1ng take that round. And more importantly, no bomb plant for NXL. So good round now for InchK1ng. He was looking a bit shaky there when the solo B player got taken down, but good retake, not letting that bomb plant and forcing Team NXL on full eco. This should be an even game here, like I was expecting. We were saying, Jackie, this was a 50-50 game. This was going to be a really evenly matched two sides, and it's really paying off to be an awesome game here. So keep tuned in, guys. This is going to be going all the way, I think, on Mirage.
Yeah, I'd like to see this one sort of really go the whole hog, because these are two teams that play perfectly against each other as well, because their styles do sort of conflict. So it is quite nice to watch. But for this round, looks like Team NXL will be going back to more of a take fairly slowly. They do have a lot of smokes, they will most likely be utilising those. There they are, going over into the site. They flood out, but they pushed in a little bit too early. Those smokes haven't gone off. They're still open to all the angles, and they're getting capitalised due to this fact. They're going to lose one player, which will make it really easy for the CTs to attempt to retake it. Bouncing through their own smokes, they only get one frag, but that's all they're going to get, as now they've been able to just get obliterated by those Ts. It's just 4A left standing with that Bamus in hand. Can he get the frags of it though? Tapping away towards Soifong. Molotov goes in, but it's not going to land closely enough to him. I mean, really, there's not much he can do. We'll just back off and hold on to that, you would imagine.
Yeah, that was an interesting decision by Team NXL. Even though they didn't get the bomb plant, yeah, they kind of went for that forced Tech 9 buy anyway, and you don't see that a lot. You normally see kind of an eco try and get a buy out, and of course we see NXL, they normally opt to go for that 4th round buy on the CT side, so they love having like quite a lot of money. So that was interesting to see that they force bought up. It's paid off. As you can see, the money on InchK1ng isn't too great. And that's paid off. They've won that round, and the twins fins around just because of that round.
Yeah. It was odd as well to sort of, you know, with that. Of course, they've thrown the smokes over, but they peeked out ages before those smokes had bloom. It was a bit risky picking all those angles at once, and they allowed InchK1ng to get that man advantage. But then InchK1ng's decision to actually push through those smokes and not go for sort of the retake when they had the advantage. You know, if they would have just retaken that, as they could have done with a 5 versus 4, it potentially could have been a fairly easy retake for them. Of course, them only having the Tech 9s, but actually going for that more aggressive style of play really sort of came back to bite them in the bum and did cost them the round a little bit.
Yeah, but interesting to see InchK1ng have gone for their own 4th buy. It's 1 FAMAS, 3 CZs, and a Max 7.
Let's see if these Zeds can be put into good use. ZK in a nice position to utilise it here on that B bomb site if they do jump out of balcony. See, you could potentially headshot as well, of course. The first tag will be transferred over there onto Rildo at mid, and there it is. ZK using that perfectly to get the frag onto SYS, and they coming in to dispatch, of course, the softened up Real X.
Yeah, evenly matched here now, 4v4. Seems like Team NXL have gone for this mid take, which are going to take a B split here now. Interesting to see there's no members of InchK1ng here. There's only ZK one with him. CZ as well here, so this is a weird kind of setup for InchK1ng. They're not really getting any information at all of Team NXL. All map control really for the Singapore team.
It's a bit of a struggle for them. It looks like luckily they will be backing off away from that B bomb site. They've been able to push up through connector. Rozu, if he gets a little bit too confident for his boots here, could potentially be taken down by ZK even, but they will be able to get that frag onto Moon. Cross Misty pops out, gets the frag onto ZK. Finally, 4-8 does chime in with a frag though. He should have been able to get one a little bit earlier. He's put a fast play through the vent, but it isn't going to work out. Rose was too quick. Sprays him down with that M4. That's NXL still leading ahead. That force buy not working out too well for InchK1ng.
Yeah, indeed, of course, we're going to see will InchK1ng go for the full save here and go for the kind of AWP setup and all utility going into round 21. Seems like they are going to do that, so yeah, perfect chance now for NXL to take control of this game after winning that third round Tech9 A execution that really paid off and put them in control. As we can see, Team XL, they're a great side on T side on Mirage as well. Every game I've watched them, they've won their halves on their T sides. Of course, when I watched 3 of these members play against Serbia, they won 9 rounds as T side. When they played against Dong BO, they won, I think it was like 8-1 or something like that on a T side. So they're a strong T side.
They can definitely bring the pain on that T side, and they're proving that now. Of course, up against a fairly soft InchK1ng at the moment with the weapons in hand. He should be able to get the frag here though, but unfortunately not. SYS bouncing around like a madman there, jittering all over the place when he popped out. Was able to get the better of him. Moon over in CT is somehow able to get away with that frag onto Soifeng now, using that 5-7 perfectly at long range to tap him down. Flashbang going in isn't going to work out too well. He will be pipped off by Forged.
Yeah, 12-8 for NXL. The one thing actually I wanted to ask you, Jackie, was what do you think of Def joining Complexity? Of course, Def is in the UK scene. He's playing for Kaz Esports, and he's going to make that move to America and joining Complexity on a big, massive contract. And it's kind of the first UK player that's got this massive opportunity. Yeah, I haven't asked you what you think of it.
It's cool because, you know, a lot of people sort of were very salty about it on Twitter, and it was sort of, you know, when you see that and you go, a UK player moving to America, of course everyone expects it to be sort of your Weber or your Rattlesnakes, something like that, you know.
No, thank God it wasn't, man.
But that's what
I'm saying. Thank God it wasn't. Yeah.
That's why I'm sort of glad, because Depp's one of these players that, of course, you know, he's only been to sort of the 2 lands. It was the one with Vexstar and the one with Kaz sort of recently. But it's the fact that he is a very strong player, and he's proven that in his level of skill. So we'll come back to that point in a minute, because right now, Moon doing some damage from that CT side, ripping them apart with that AK-47. He has been able to scavenge. HK comes in with one, Relax. Moon comes in with one there to get the frag onto Soifeng to finally get InchK1ng back on the board. But it's really cool to see, because he is one of these players that is a really sick aimer. He's definitely got a lot of time to put in dedication, and he can excel in that sort of scene. You know, in the American scene, a lot of it does come down to sort of that ability of brain, and the American scene sort of lacks that sort of style. Depth will be okay because of that. I feel like getting into that, his game sense, everything's going to be fine for him, and the fact that he's got that advantage with just how crisp his aim is, he could really do some damage.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it in our eyes at LAN. Of course, we've been to a few LANs, the same as Def as well. We've seen how good he's been, like, at LAN as well, so it's a massive opportunity for the UK player to go over there, really prove himself to be a top player. So hats off to him for that. All the best to him if he's watching on the stream. All the best of you and Complexity. I hope you really excel there. You deserve it, mate. And just all the best. Luck back on this round. Real's picked off one already and put off half damage to Soifeng. But 4v4 situation here. NXL got to go for this A site like predicted. I think they've gone there quite a lot.
Okay. Defending the site quite well. Gets 2 frags. His teammate 4A will come in for the final one there, of course, onto Frost Misty as well. And InchK1ng being able to get that second round on the board fairly efficiently. Now NKL, not with a lot of money in the bank, unless they have a very good credit score and able to get a loan. I feel like they'll be going for an eco on this one, Neil.
Yeah, they should be going for the eco. They're going for this Tech9 armor buy. Probably gonna go for this B kind of play now. That kind of worked out. They love doing this. They do this in their quarterfinal game, and it paid off very well. They got the bomb site against InchK1ng, but just lost members kind of one by one. So yeah, they're gonna go for this kind of B Tech9 execute that they've been hitting off and executing a few times now in this tournament so far.
And that's the thing as well, you can win these rounds if you flash out nicely, like that. Beautiful flash coming out there to aid Frost Misty as he gets the first frag onto Ming. He has been able to scavenge the M4 as well. The site is essentially in their control. They've zoned out ZK with those perfectly placed smokes. Rosu attempting to push through it though, could get the frag onto him if ZK isn't holding the right angle when it comes down to the crunch. Smoke does begin to fade. Real X will get the first frag onto Frost Misty, playing over by Forest. ZK gets one onto Rosu as well, and now only 3 Ts left standing. They're in some cheeky positions to potentially do some damage. Pop out, but Foray was too fast. Takes down Forge. SYS getting traded out there by Real as well. Finally, InchK1ng proved that they can retake that B bomb site. They've had a fair success rate when it comes to retaking the B bomb site. Actually, even against sort of 4x gun rounds from NXL, they proved that they can sort of do that quite efficiently.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm really impressed in that kind of retake. They don't really, even though they lost their first man there, they didn't panic. They just took their time. Good teamwork there by just timing that execution on retaking that site, and it was really impressive. I mean, they only lost one man going into that retake. Of course, they lost the first man at the big bomb site, but only losing one more member and taking that site with ease and using it. Of course, we're at 12-11 here.
Frag on the board for NXL. They were able to pick off ZK1 fairly easily. Haven't even taken a single scratch onto Frost Misty, so I'll be quite happy with that one. See how they're going to play this round out. If they do decide to go for this A execute, they're going to have a few angles to contend with. 3 CTs in close proximity and 1 pushing behind, so of course that call has been made. They're going to be aware that they're nowhere near that B bomb site. A is going to be where they're hitting. Ming's play was crucial in this round to let them know that, and here they do finally funnel out onto the side note. Weird play from Moon there. Somehow he wasn't spotted up on top of the boxes. He drops down, gets taken down. He was fairly blind, not much he could do in that situation. Rosu going for the counterplay, jumping across over Sandwich, gets the frag onto Foray, and he will be able to back off as well. From behind, he can't quite get the frag onto Ming, but no matter, his teammates will help him out. Really fun coming in with a final frag onto Real as well to get NXL another round on the board. Looking fairly strong once again.
Yeah, 13-11 here for NXL, and they've opted for a pause here now, InchK1ng. This is definitely a tactical pause, I'd say. It's starting to run away from them now. The money isn't looking too great as well. NXL are running all over InchK1ng here. They really need to find out a way of getting back into this game, because NXL, before you know it, could be on match point in a minute now. Now, if I was InchK1ng, with the money on fight, I would actually buy up here and probably take a mag 7 here on ZK1, or maybe like a gun, like a shot, any shotgun really. They need to buy up here. They need to not let NXL get any more momentum here. I think that's what they're talking about. They're talking about, right, are we gonna want to buy up, guys, or shall we just go for the fucking 14-11 and go from there? I think they should buy.
Yeah.
I really think they should buy up here now and really take the game back in their swing and maybe go for an aggressive push that NXL did. Remember when they bought it, they had no utility and they absolutely dismantled InchK1ng, didn't even lose a man. So I think maybe an aggressive catch NXL off guard, maybe get that opening pick to slow the pace down of NXL. Maybe that's an option for InchK1ng. Maybe they are talking about that right now.
Because it definitely can be done, and it's the fact as well, even if you just push 4 men, sort of A-ramp and sort of Palace respectively, and leave one guy on the big site without Mag 7 playing a close angle, he could sort of potentially get those 1 or 2 frags that would be vital for him to buy the teammates enough time to rotate over. But with the push they're going for, that would be quite a strong play. And it's the fact when it's coming down to it, you know, there's not a lot they have on their line, on the line for them. They can either go for an eco, play it out standardly, get money in the following round, but then be very, very far behind and have to really fight their hearts out, or potentially come in with a bit of a force buy, risk it for a biscuit, and if it pays off, be in a fantastic position.
Yeah, indeed, but interesting to see InchK1ng looking like they're not going to go for that force buy. Scout on 4, of course, he had 9k, so he's going to be able to buy fully going into this the 26th round. But it's not a bad buy at all. They got 2 CZs with one with armor, Scout and armor. So if they kind of get the opening frag here, it could turn their way.
Could do indeed. We've seen it quite a few times in the Asian scene, some wild sort of ecos / really sort of scrappy little buys with just a few pistols and a scout here and there that they somehow worked out against the AKs of the opposite team. But let's see if you know, NXL aren't going to be having any of that, or if they will be coming in very strong and wipe away the opposition like a spilt drink.
Yeah, NXL in a good position here now. They should be able to pick up this round now, of course. Buy on InchK1ng isn't the strongest in the world. Right, it's interesting to see, right? You see the buy of InchK1ng, look at the money on two players. I mean, they already have 3-5 and 3-8 going into the next round if they lose this round. So why not just go for a full buy-in before he would have dropped one and go for a bet? There would have been a better buy than this. I mean, this is meant to be not a force buy InchK1ng here. This is meant to be an eco to kind of get a good buy in the next round, and the money on him, they're not going to be able to do that.
It is a little bit of a struggle, sort of their economy management there, and it seems like they will be losing the first man early into the round. Actually, somehow survives, barely scraping through the skin of his teeth. 4A NHP is going to try and find a teammate, you would imagine, to pass that scout onto, because he is so low. Not a fantastic person to have left with it, but he can't cross. Aware that they've got early mid control. If he does peek out too far, they will be able to dispatch him from connector. Trying to hold on for his life here, but it looks like the bomb will actually be taken over towards that B bomb site. There are going to be 3 CTs there, holding some nice angles to potentially do some damage. The Deagle of Ming has to really shine here. He has to come in strong and get a frag. They do go for this push.
Yeah, still a 5v5 situation here now. InchK1ng got 3 members of their players in the B bomb, so kind of go for a little bit of gamble here. And Frost Misty's actually got up connector here now into jungle. He's got to get all the information in the world to tell his teammates here. He could be in a good chance here to pick up 1 or 2 frags in the back here now. He should be able to now as well. He can hear the members all rotating from kitchen.
Trapped in a bit of an awkward position there, couldn't quite find his way back through the vent. He will get taken out, but he's done an amazing job of getting the opener on the board there. Rosu gets one as well onto Ming. 4A gets absolutely obliterated, and now it is going to be on ZK1. Not in a great spot, 1 versus 4. Bomb will go down, he peeks at the right time, gets the frag onto Forge, and the follow-up onto Soifeng. 1 versus 2, an amazing situation to be in for him now, and there is potential to do it. He's still got enough utility to make this round in his favour as well. He isn't going to use that smoke. He could have tried to do something with it, and unfortunately, SYS will get the better of him on the peak.
Interesting to see the money here now. Let's see how good the buy is. 3-4 for real. Like I was saying, that money is not good enough to go into this round. Only a smoke on ZK1. Just trying to see what Moon is going to buy up here. Just a flashbang on him. I mean, that buy there were 2 of their members, Jackie. Just, I don't agree with it. Like, they don't need. Also, they don't need head armor either on an AK. So that could have saved them 350 as well. So, small mistakes coming in from InchK1ng, which could cost them towards the end of this game. Of course, this game is really close, getting to the last stages of this map here.
I mean, we've seen it sort of in the Asian scene. It seems like CT side economy management is a bit of a struggle for them.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't see teams in Europe making these mistakes. I think like teams like Fnatic, of course, they wouldn't be making the mistakes like these. Like these small mistakes, guys, could cost you kind of big in such a close game like this and such an important game like this. Of course, there's $2,000 for first on the line. We're in a semi-final stage here. It's getting down to the last stages of this tournament. It's a massive opportunity for both teams to kind of promote themselves and get themselves on the map here in the worldwide scene of CSGO. Of course, 2016 is going to be a massive year. eFrag bringing in a good tournament here for the Asian scene.
Big, and this game is essentially worth $1,000, and they're proving that with the style of play they're whipping out here on the NXL side. They get 2 nice opening frags. Moon comes in with 1 onto Forge. Can he get the follow-ups? Keeping that ball rolling, obliterating the T side right now. But finally, Soifeng has had enough. Snaps down. Takes out 2 of them to get that 15th round on the board for NXL.
Yeah, that's a massive round for Team NXL, and match point here in favour of NXL.
Yeah, and look at the money there over on InchK1ng. Not a lot they can work with at all. A max 7, 2 umps, whatever they could find in the back of their jeans to use flashbangs and smokes. 2 CZs. And they're now in a 4 versus 5 as well, as Moon getting a little bit aggressive with that mag 7, gets taken down. So unfortunate, Real getting dropped as well, and now it's only 3 men left standing. 2 of the guns are down, there's 1 of them getting dropped off as well. 4 and Ming trying to do some damage. Are they going to push in? That CZ could come into play here, tapping away in close quarters, but it isn't going to work out. And there it is, NXL blasting through the opposition there on that T side.
Yeah, NXL, they're just edging it out there, 16-11. They kind of ran away with it towards the end of that map, and as I was saying, just small mistakes by InchK1ng, costing them really the last 3 rounds, not being able to get. I think in the last 3 rounds, they didn't really